but the florid man loves distinction. He does not demand such easy-to-wear garments as the fat man. On the contrary, he will undergo extreme discomfort if it gives him a distinctive appearance. He wants his house to be elegant, the grounds different, the view unusual. Has color sense. Whereas the fat man, when furnishing a home, devotes his attention to soft beds, steam heat, and plenty of cushioned divans. The Thoracic thinks of the chandeliers, the unusual chairs, the pretty front doorstep, the landscape gardening, and the color schemes. When he is in moderate circumstances. When only well-to-do, this type will be found to have carried out furnishing and decoration with the taste worthy of much larger purses. When merely well-to-do, he wears the very best clothes he can possibly afford, and often a good deal better. This type does not purpose to be outwitted by life. He tries always to put up a good showing. When he is poor. The Thoracic is seldom poor. He has so much personality, ginger, and gold of the sort that is required in the world of today that he usually has a good position. He may not like the position, but in spite of the fact that he finds it harder to tolerate disagreeable things than any other type, he will endure it, for he knows that the rewards he is after cannot be had by the down and outer. The natural and normal vanity of the Thoracic stands him in hand here more than in almost any other place in life. The world entertained by them. Behind every row of footlights you will find more people of this type than any other. The Alimentive manages the world, but the Thoracic entertains it. He comprises more of the dancers, actors, operatic stars, and general entertainers than any other two types combined. In everything save acrobatics and oratory he holds the platform laurels. As already pointed out, his adaptability, spontaneity, and love of approval are responsible for this. His fastidious habits. The Thoracic is the most fastidious of all the types. His thin skin and sensitive nerves makes him more conscious of roughness and slovenliness than others. The result is that he is what is called more particular about his person than other types. The fat man often wears an old pair of shoes long past their usefulness, but the florid man thinks more of the impression he creates than of his own personal comfort, and will wear the shiniest of patent leathers on the hottest day if they are the best match for his suit. Likes all music. Every kind of music is enjoyed by the pure Thoracic, because he experiences so many moods. Entertainment he prefers. Social affairs of an exclusive order where he wears his bad bib and tucker and everybody else does the same are amongst the favorable diversions of this type. He makes a favorable impression under such conditions and is well aware of it. Other reasons for this preference are his brilliant conversational powers, his charm, and his enjoyment of other people and their viewpoints. The Thoracic is also exceedingly fond of dancing, enjoys vaudeville. The average Thoracic enjoys vaudeville, follies, and revues, etc., because they are full of quick changes of program. He enjoys, as does every type, certain kinds of movies, but he constitutes no such percentage of the movie-going audience as some other types. Reading. Books and stories that are romantic, adventurous, and different are the favorites of this type. Detective stories are often in high favor with him also. Physical assets. The physical advantages of this type are his quick energy, based on his wonderful breathing system, and the rich, rapid flowing blood, produced by his wonderful heart system. He is noted for his ability to get his second wind, and has remarkable capacity for rising to sudden physical emergencies. Physical liabilities. A tendency to overexcitement and the consequent running down of his batteries is a physical pitfall often fatal to this type. Favorite sports. Hurdling, sprinting, tennis, and all sports requiring short, intense bursts of energy are the ones in which this type excels. Social assets. Charms and responsiveness are the chief social assets of the Thoracic. Inasmuch as these are the most valuable of all social traits, he has a better natural start in human relationships than any other type. Social liabilities. Quick temper, his inflammable nature and appearance of vanity are his greatest social liabilities. They stand between him and success many times. He must learn to control them if he decides to reap the full benefit of his remarkable assets. Emotional assets. Instantaneous sympathy and a lack of poisonous inhibitions are the outstanding emotion assets of this type. Emotional liabilities. Impatient micro-emotions and the expenditure of too much of his electricity in every little experience are the tendency most to be guarded against. Business assets. That he is a good mixer and has the magnetism to interest and attract others are his most valuable business traits. Business liabilities. An appearance of flightiness and his tendency to hop from one subject to another stand in the way of the thoracic's promotion many times. Domestic strength. The ability to entertain and please his own family and to give of himself to them as freely as he gives himself to the world at large is one of the most lovable thoracic traits. Domestic weakness. The temperament and temper of this type constitute a real domestic problem for those who live with them, but they are so forgiving themselves that it is almost impossible to hold anything against them. Should aim at. The thoracic should aim at making fewer decisions, at finishing what he starts, and of wasting less energy in unnecessary words and motions. Should avoid. All situations, conditions, and people who slip the belt off the wheel, who tend to cut life up into bits by dissipation or pleasure seeking, should be avoided by this type because they aggravate his own weakness in that direction. Strong points. Personal ambition, adaptability, and quick physical energy are the strongest points of the thoracic. Weakest points. Too great excitability, irresponsibility, and supersensitiveness are the weakest points of this type. How to deal with this type socially. Give him aesthetic surroundings, encourage him to talk, and respond to what he says. These are the certain methods for winning him in social intercourse. How to deal with this type in business. Get his name on the dotted line now, or don't expect it. If he is an employee, let him come into direct contact with people. Give his personality a chance to get business for you. Don't forget to praise him when deserved, and don't pin him down to routine. This type succeeds best in professions where his personal charm can be capitalized, and does not belong in any strictly commercial business. Remember, the chief distinguishing mark of the thoracic in the order of their importance are flushed complexion, high chest, and long waist. Any person who has this is largely of the thoracic type, no matter what other types might be included in his makeup. End of Section 6 of Chapter 2.